was up to the standards of making sure that every firefighter in Macon-Bibb County met every training hour that was required for the audit. But it's not a one-time audit. We continue to meet these goals and these benchmarks throughout the year continuously. So it's an ongoing process. This isn't a one-time thing. This happens, it's reoccurring every few years. And we wanted to make sure that we were where we needed to be to make sure that Macon-Bibb County is Class 1. So, as I stated, one of the main factors of being a Class 1 fire department is our water system. I do want to say a special thank you to the President and Director of the Macon-Bibb County Water Authority, Mr. Ron Shipman, but also a special shout out to one of his key people, Michelle Wana, for staying on our team throughout the whole audit and making sure that every bit of information that was needed through the water system was provided to ISO during that audit. So at this time, I'd like to bring up our Executive Director and President of the Macon Water Authority, Mr. Ron Shipman, for a few remarks.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Again, what a great day to be in Macon-Bibb County. I am Ron Shipman. I'm the Executive Director of the Macon Water Authority. But again, it was a team effort. But let me talk a little bit about my team. First off, I got to give honors and respects to the board. Our board allows us to do what we need to do in order to support the chief and other areas in Bibb County. So Chairman Bechtel, Mr. Clay, Mr. Brown, Mr. Jones, Mr. Patterson, and commissioners who are also appointed to our Macon Water Authority Board, Mr. Howell and Ms. Wynn. Thank you for your support. It is a staff that allows me to stand before you. And you talked, Chief Edwards, about one of the key individuals, but it is a staff effort. Michelle was obviously, as you well know, is very detailed and very meticulous about doing things, and it pays off. We talked about the ratings. Now let me give you a little bit more specifics as to how the Macon Water Authority is involved in this. In 2023, over 39,000 communities were evaluated. 2023, over 39,000 communities were evaluated. Macon-Bibb County in the nation was one of less than 500 that were Class 1. So Chief, congratulations. Outstanding job. For the water system, we make up 40% of the Chief's score. And why we do that? Because it's simply based on the adequacy of water supply. So when the chief needs it in an emergency, we've got to make sure it's there and it is to be delivered. And one of the criteria is 3,500 gallons per minute for our fire extinguishers. For our fire hydrants. That's what we look for. So when you go to planning and zoning, when developers go to planning and zoning and those kind of things, that's one evaluation, just one point that we've got to make sure that we meet in order for the chief to achieve a Class 1 and Macon-Bibb County to achieve a Class 1. The Water Authority, we tested over 90 fire hydrants last year. It is an ongoing regimen that we do. We test fire hydrants to make sure they deliver the product that the chief needs in order to do his job. And the other thing is when they come out to do the evaluation, they spot check. They look at a map, and this is ISO, the evaluation team. They look at a map, and they just randomly pick fire hydrants around Macon-Bibb County and say, we want to go check these number of fire hydrants. It could be a few, or it can be several. And so we have to take our team out and do the evaluation. The Macon Water Authority achieved a 38.29 out of 40 on the side that we had that we could say grace over. Let's say it that way. And so, Chief, thank you for allowing us to be a part of your team. And one small other thing that we do is public education. We have a news insert, a flyer that we put in our bill. And one of the things that we talk about in there on a regular basis is fire protection, fire safety, and what you need to do in order to stay safe in Macon-Bibb County. So, on behalf of the Water Authority, Chief Edwards, on behalf of all of us in Macon-Bibb County, we just simply want to say thank you for a job well done. Thank you for a job well done. Please. Now I had the distinct honor in introducing our top-of-class mayor. We have a top-of-class fire chief. What they pointing? Oh, Robbie. they changed it. Sorry, Mr. Mayor. But so I talked about development. One of the things that we've also got to do is bring businesses here. One of the things business has to know and has to understand that in order to be in Macon-Bibb County, we want to provide you the class services that we have. But in order to provide those services, we've got to get them here. So let me introduce now the chairman of the Macon-Bibb County Industrial Authority, Mr. Robbie Fountain.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, congratulations to Chief Edwards, to the men and women of the Macon-Bibb County Fire Department, Macon Water Authority, Chairman Bechtel, the mayor, your staff, congratulations. What an honor. I know a lot of people sit here and probably look at me and say, what does ISO rating #1 have to do with industrial development and recruitment? Well, it has a lot to do with it. And, you know, I don't think of us as a Class 1, well, just more than a Class 1 fire department. We're a Class 1 community. And I truly believe that. So let me speak a little bit what ISO rating 1 has to do with industrial recruitment. So, and as ISO rates us and gives us that Class 1, for us in industrial recruitment, it means everything. It's a huge tool in our pouch that we have negotiating powers when big companies like Irvin Tissue, Kumho Tire, First Quality come to our town, and we have that ISO rating of #1. That saves that company a lot of money. And, you know, and it's so competitive today in way of recruitment. And every little tool that we have helps us. And obviously, most people we compete against don't have the ISO rating of a Class 1 as we do. So to have that Class 1 rating really, really puts us out front of a lot of people. And it's a huge savings to these companies to be able to say that we have a Class 1 fire department. But there again, like I said, we have a Class 1 community as well. Our workforce, the amenities that our government has put for us, our quality of life. We have so much to offer in Macon-Bibb, and to add to it, just having this Class 1 fire department. A lot of you may not know this. I was a fireman myself long years ago, back in 1995. And listen, I want to talk a little bit these men and women and the training that they go through. I see them over here, and just give props to them. That's a brotherhood that you can't explain unless you've been a part of it. And these men and women, when they go to that door, and every animal you got, from rodents to whatever it may be, trying to get out of that house, and you're trying to get in there to save everybody, that takes a special person to do that. So my heart goes out to each and every one of you guys here today, a fire department, because, man, it's a special place for every single one of you guys, and the guys behind me with an awesome leadership team. Like I say again, I just want to give a special thanks to Chief Edwards for what he does, Macon Water Authority, Gary, Ron, your board, and what you guys do, and obviously to the mayor of Macon, Lester Miller. He gives us, and his board gives us all the tools necessary to move forward and make Macon a better place. So anyway, with that being said, I won't take up no more time. But again, congratulations to Shane, your group, your staff, the Water Authority, the mayor. Thanks again for having us out here today. And at this time, I'd like to bring up Dr. Keith Moffitt, and I think he's going to say a few words here at the end. But thank you all.
Thank you, Chief. See, it's not just being a great fire chief, you can adjust microphones pretty good. Good morning. On behalf of Mayor Lester Miller, I'm Dr. Keith Moffitt, and the mayor, you can see him standing right over there, but with the change of weather and with all the screaming that he does at us, he doesn't have his voice today, and that's a good thing for me. But he's normally screaming because he's always going to say it's a great day to be in Macon and Bibb County. He's always going to say, what more can we do? And this is an example right here today of the great things that we have going on. When we talk about those things that you see taking down blighted houses, the parks, the rec programs, all those things that you see, there's a lot of things that you don't see. And this Class 1 designation is a great example of those intangible things that we just don't see on a regular basis of what happens with when you call 911 and that great response shows up. When you have the fire department first on the scene. As county manager, often I get to be the bad guy and talk about budgets. And we talk about how much we invest in this fire department and the return on investment. One of the reasons why that return on investment with this Class 1 is because it directly affects your fire insurance. All right? But again, that return on investment is if you have a fire like going on with this smoke coming out of your house and you dial 911, you know you're going to have the best trained people showing up on the scene to protect your property. As we already stated, this fire department has held this classification since 1984 when we were first in the state of Georgia to be a Class 1 fire department. 6th in the country. That speaks volumes when we talk about what that means for this community. But one thing that we can't say enough, and as Mr. Fountain just alluded to, is the personnel, the men and women we have working in this fire department. I myself have a huge investment in this fire department, being the father of a fireman and talking to him every other day about how his day was and the things that he sees in this community, and knowing that you know, I told him, you know, it takes a special person to run to the danger, to run to the fire. When you see these guys up on this ladder, I don't know how many of us can do that. When we dedicated this facility a few months ago, the mayor, again, Superman, propelling down the wall. These are things that they do without hesitation. I mean, they take that axe and bust through that burning door. And they've been doing it for years. We have people that have been doing it for over 30 years. Chief himself, almost, 35 years. And they do it because they love it. I mean, we have new recruits coming in. Another investment. I have my nephew standing over there as a trainee. Another investment in this community of people that love working in this community. We just can't thank them enough. And so I would just like to bring Chief Edwards back up and again say thank you. I know it wasn't easy doing this Class 1. You're telling me about how much we have to spend to get the apparatus, to get the equipment. All that is first class because we are a first class fire department. So again, congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Moffitt. I am a good microphone adjuster because there's a little bit of a height disadvantage there. So thank you very much. Thank you for the community. But most of all, I would like to say a special thank you to my executive staff, who definitely is my right and left hand in the department and make sure that we have stuff taken care of and covered daily. And also, most of all, a special thank you to Mayor Miller for all of your support, all the commissioners in Macon-Bibb County. Everything that we have requested, 100% of the time has been unanimously voted on and approved. I truly appreciate that. We could stand here all day and talk about all the great things and how the fire department got to where we are. But what I'd like to do is step out of the way and let you see firsthand the Macon-Bibb County firefighters at work at the best. So put out the fire, guys.
On your six, on your six.
Yeah, real quick. Yeah.
All right.
Who would you like to speak with?
I've got a firefighter for.
Okay.
For you. Who do you want?
I can talk to a firefighter. It's
Firefighter?
just a both sides.
Okay.
I saw them note take girl.
At 9 o'clock. All of a sudden he said, "This is at 10." I was like, "Oh."
There's my son, there's my nephew. I knew this kid in high school.
No, I would say the mayor lost his voice. He was a cheerleader, but I was like,
All the time experience it.
yes, I did get that in. He's always screaming, do more, do more.
I'm gonna email that to the guys. That's a small closure on that. Yeah. That really would be diving out, but I'll make sure it's diving out.
All right.
You want the chief, or do you want firefighter, or do you want? I can get you the chief or deputy chief or assistant chief.
Do the firefighter. So it's just one person.
Alright, I'll get the fire. Who'd you say? Sorry.
I said I can talk to the firefighter too if it's just the one, so that if that's easier.
I think I'll put fire chief can talk about the class, like the rating
Okay.
itself. I think she's gonna do a package.
Something more
Yeah.
different. That's fine, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need anything to how are you?
I am doing great. How you doing
I'm
today?
doing all right. Let me grab my mic.